The Falls Count Everywhere podcast would like to mention our friends at the following. We Talk Wrestling. For the one stop you need for the most intriguing stories and headlines, and info on independent shows in multiple regions, We Talk Wrestling has you covered. Subscribe to Facebook's #1 interactive community for professional wrestling today. Pro wrestling on Tuesdays are a blast with the Wrestle Talk podcast. Join the Night Owl, DJ Big Sexy, Luke Roberts, The Alpha, Jay Wade, Nightmare Jones, and many others as they bring you the hottest takes on the major circuits, showcase interviews with various indie stars, and the only place to get news on the most popular fantasy wrestling promotion, the FWWC. Catch them every Tuesday night at 7 p.m. Central. Find all of their media outlets on their website at WrestleTalkPodcast.com.
Before each and every show, we like to remind our audience that freedom is never free, and all of us should be grateful to those who lay it all on the line. To all our first responders, military, and volunteers that help our nation every day, we love you and appreciate the sacrifices you make to protect all of us.
Get ready for episode number 137 of the Falls Count Everywhere podcast, as we welcome the powerhouse athlete tearing up the Midwest professional wrestling scene with pure power and determination towards his competition, the Silverback, Big Joe Helms. This podcast is scheduled for one episode, where falls count everywhere.
And good evening, everybody. Welcome here. It is Sunday night, and it's that time again, and it's only a duo here, but we're going to keep it rocking, everybody. That's right. It is episode number 137 of the Falls Count Everywhere podcast. We're glad that you're with us here.
Well, no, we're changing the show right now. This is the new show. It's called What Can Go Wrong and What Bad Could Happen in 7 Days' Time.
Oh, yeah. Well, I'll tell you, we'll get into that. That's it's been an interesting week. It's been the quickest of February's and and the quickest of things to go wrong in a week. That's for definitely sure. We're gonna touch on that. We're not going to be a total downer about all this, but let's just say that on some elements, we shall overcome, or I shall overcome, and but. Pardon me for if I sound a little bit. I guess I feel a little bit hoarse. I feel a little bit hoarse, man. I've been struggling, dealing with. This is one of the things we'll be dealing with this past week is my wife being sick and not wanting to go to the doctor for whatever reason. But hopefully, I can talk some sense.
She's there 24/7. I mean, that's why she didn't want to go.
Yeah. So apparently, NyQuil severe cold and flu downing 12 ounces over a 4-day span did not cure it, and so I know. Yeah. She didn't take the tussin. She got to take the tussin to make it all better. She's
not taking rust off a bumper there. I mean, come on.
Okay, so Clint, I think you meant to say where is Joe Helms? But what it is. Yeah,
what it is, man.
He be here later, and we're gonna stop right now. Stop right. I'm not just good evening, Herb. So should I get into at least the kind of, I guess, not so fun thing? I mean, I guess should I involve me first? Because people are finding me here. They're like, oh my gosh, his face is on Facebook. Well. Here's the long and short of it, guys. For my personal page, somehow there was a cyber scammed Instagram account that linked to my Facebook, did something really quick, broke some type of violations that I did not even know about, and it happened so quick, and I didn't know anything about it. And apparently, Facebook wants me to confirm this ghosted Instagram account that does not exist. So I'm stuck in the catch-22 to get my profile back. I don't know if I will get it back, and there might be a chance.
With what we had researched on Reddit when I was helping you out the other day, it's happened to so many people that account a Instagram account is connected to them, but it really wasn't.
Right.
So it's some kind of glitch in the matrix somewhere,
So basically, it's Murphy's Law kicking me right in the dingleberry. So,
well, if anything says dingleberry, says Murphy. Anyway.
Oh man, you think I was watching a pay-per-view right now? But anyway, yeah. Hey, but you can watch two things at the same time. Some people can walk and chew bubble gum. Try that. If you can do that, then you're
besides
good.
what happened with Ruby, we also notice, I'm not a redhead with the beard and everything. He's out sick.
Yes.
But he's kind of here.
He's
Ruby,
kind of here.
do you have any sound effects like a drum roll or
A drum roll? I most certainly do. Are you ready for it? Here's the drum roll. Uh-oh. Hey, his figure came in. And
so did yours?
Yeah.
No,
And
plus
mine.
Plus the better one is looking on as like he's still going to be in your shadow. So you're never going to get rid of that one.
Yeah, keep the guy in the red in the back. He can. That guy's annoyed in the sky. So.
Well, you know what I could do. Hold on, I could fix something here.
Jeremy Housewright, Dean Houston, thank you very much, guys, and of course, Brent, thanks for being here. Herb Simmons, thanks for watching.
There we go.
The
Rick Ruby one has the mullet on it.
Oh my God. Interchangeable hair, I guess. No, but man, we've got a lot to talk about in regards to. I mean, there's a lot of things that are coming up. Joe Helms will be here around 9:30. He is actually just probably gotten back from being up around this area from doing TV tapings with SICW All-Star Wrestling, and now he had to go home. So he's going to try to be here around 30. So he will be here, but we've got a lot to talk about. Besides our
if he does next time he comes back, if he doesn't bring some Lamberts and everything for me, I'm not going to like him.
Lamberts. Oh, we can go down to Sykeston, we can make a whole you never know. I mean, we could hit another Lamberts if we just have to kind of plan our day around that, Yeah. Yeah, actually, so we're talking about AEW Revolution. It's still going on right now. And we're going to get into some little talk about that. Right now, currently we've got Deanna Purrazzo and Tony Storm doing battle inside the ring. There has been one title change here tonight. I'm going to get ready to do a spoiler alert. So cover your ears here in 3, 2, 1. Roderick Strong is your new AEW International Champion. There you go. So apparently all the juice was squeezed out of Orange Cassidy. So he's not so fresh anymore. He's he's freshly squeezed Orange Cassidy. He's not so fresh anymore. He's on wrong out, bro.
Man, where's Brittany when we need her right now to really bring out those figures?
Oh my goodness.
Oh well, JM House, I let you spoil more stuff. Don't forget the big return at the end of that match.
Oh yes. Big return for Kyle. That's right. There we go. Right here, Jeremy nailed it. Kyle O'Reilly returned after to the celebration, and sorry, I was looking at the next comment, and well, let's just say that Kyle O'Reilly is not part of the Undisputed Kingdom, but he did give Roderick Strong a hug for congratulatory, but he did not take the invite to the Undisputed Kingdom. So it's going to be interesting how that unfolds in AEW.
With all those teams and everything, the team up I'm really enjoying reading about and looking at and everything was when Mandy Rose and Lacey Evans teamed up recently.
Yeah, is this a for real?
Yeah, no, they did. A lot of times it's called a collab,
Uh-huh.
and they did a photo shoot for a site.
Okay, that's fine. That's fine.
I left it
That's
at that.
fine. Le-
And
I'm
really,
not here
next
to
time,
try.
don't leave your credit card attached to this and everything, and I won't.
Oh my
question it.
goodness. Well, yeah, let's just say, and this I agree with here. If you did not get a chance to see this match, this was definitely a hard hitting, good striking, good technical match. Eddie Kingston retaining the Continental Championship over Brian Danielson, and so there was sportsmanship at the end. So Brian did not leave him hanging. So that I will tell you. But let's kind of get into what we like I said, we're going back to Monday, and because there's a lot that happened from Monday on. But this is kind of do a look here with Ole Anderson here. So apparently at the age of, I believe it was 82.
1 second.
Yeah, I think he was either 81 or 82, but Ole Anderson,
I think it was 81.
81. I don't know where. I know he was born in 42. I know that, but apparently he recently had passed.
81.
Okay, so
How the hell did I get on this side? What the hell? There we go.
yeah.
Just
So Ole Anderson passing away, and but of course I think one of the original members of the Minnesota Wrecking Crew, of course, going on here to be one of the. He's not really recognized in the beginning as a horseman, but he did deal with JJ and everything else. He was only in there not as long as he was all the others, but whenever they started collabing everything together between Ole, Arn,
collab.
and then Rick, Ole, Arn, and Tully.
Yes.
Okay. Then Luger came around, and then they started shoving this guy out of here. So
apparently he wasn't liked a lot backstage at times.
I believe that. I mean, Ole does have a temperament, but I'll tell you what, when I started watching,
But
the Carolinas and Crockett, whenever they took over TBS back after this is after the fact that the whole Black Saturday thing was over with and WWF was out the door in WTBS. So after WrestleMania, they came back at WrestleMania 1, that is. Ole, I'll tell you what, to me, Ole had one of the best promos that they did at the desk, like desk promos, area promos where they always did with Crockett and Schiavone were at. And he had some of the best promos, and I just took to him because, man, he just really made sense with some of his promos, and he had that convincing thing about that.
No, he did. But what's funny is some of his legacy. Yeah, it just wasn't on the notes, by the way.
Yeah, sorry, buddy.
But he was the voice of the Shockmaster. That was his main legacy that people remember him more by, which is sad because he had so much of a storied career, and then everybody just remembers him as the voice of the Shockmaster.
Oh well, right. No.
It's also why whenever they redid that skit, kind of in WWE,
right,
Arn did it.
Yeah,
because Vince didn't want to work with Ole either. So,
and didn't Arn say, he was like, "What are you looking at? It wasn't me talking," or I don't know where he said it was. He kind of inclined that he wasn't really the voice of the Shockmaster, which is true, but either way. But Ole Anderson does pass away. I mean, 81 years old. Very, like I said, I mean, and I did see some footage, back in 83, 84, Mid-Atlantic and all that other, I watched him. So, I mean, and Ole was a good, solid, in your face, technical ground and pound technical wrestler, and he he could definitely hold his own in the ring. He was tough. So, but sorry to see Ole gone. And then also this individual. This was kind of shocking in a way. With Virgil passing, 61 years old, and I know that he was battling a lot of health issues. I saw one of the
it was health issues that pulled him out of the Fan Fest last year. If I'm correct on that.
Yeah, that's correct. So he was booked for the first ever SICW Fan Fest last year. We were so hyped to see him. And, it was like, hey, Ted's going to be down there. Virgil's going to be down there. It should be a good day, right? But he had to call off, and apparently it really was for some health issues. And I saw how he was, and he just. I'm sorry to say I'm sorry that health overtook him, but he looked older than 61. I did not think he was that young when he passed. So,
and a lot of people were mistaking that they thought he was in his 50s instead. I mean, which is all. It's just he had a lot of issues in life. Like even trying to capitalize still, like how everybody else is able to capitalize on getting his name out there, meet and greets, stuff like that. We're not going to go into it. We're not going to make the jokes or anything like that. We've all seen the pictures. Not. But of
course not.
It was to the point that just. Oh, our guest is making comments in the stream right now.
Oh, yeah. Wow. Okay. Well, but he could have passed for that. I mean, but I honestly thought the way he looked there, I thought he was closer to 70. He looked that old to me. So
you know what happens I know he said some. I know it was recently that he had a stroke, if I'm correct, but. That will take its toll on you a lot, definitely. And he was 41 or so when he won the $1 million title.
No, that's incorrect. He had to be in his 30s. He won it back in 91. So that was like 33 years, about 32 years ago. So he had to be like 29. But people don't reckon. But if you really want to catch him in his career at the beginning down in the Mid-South, the Soul Train Jones. So he used his real last name, and he put Soul Train, and he was dressing up in Apollo Creed gear coming out to Living in America. So that was Soul Train Jones down in Memphis. And then he made his way up to the ranks of WWF, and Ted needed a bodyguard. And I'll tell you what. This gimmick, though, Virgil's gimmick really enhanced Ted's gimmick in WWF.
Definitely got in the heat with it, definitely. I mean...
he was 40. I don't know.
Yeah, he was 40 when he won the title. That's what I was looking at. I'm doing the math on something real quick.
Like I said, that would made him born in 51. That makes no sense.
Yep, that he is born in 51.
Then why did he say he passed that he was 61 years old? Okay, so
that's a mistake. It's one of those people were trying to finding out and everything, and then doing the math and whatnot. So yeah, he was born on April 7th, 1951, passed February 28th, 2024.
So he was 73.
Yes.
So why did it say he was 61?
That was the age that people were
feeling more
and whatnot. I mean, that again, he's one of those whenever he, again, the line about the age and stuff like that. I mean, so yeah, he was already in his 50s, late 50s, if not 60 something, whenever he came in with Ted Jr. for a while.
Yeah, well, I'll tell you what. But either way, I'm going to stop feeling more confused than Scott Steiner right now and just say,
You want to do this? We need a video of that on here once in a while with the Steiner math. But now I know you only had it for the two. what just happened a couple of days ago was Butcher Vachon had passed away as well.
Oh, that's right. Yeah, that Butcher Vachon. Yeah. So, unfortunately, we had a trifecta here in the wrestling business.
And he actually died on Leap Day.
So he did die on Thursday, and I think Virgil passed away on Wednesday on the 28th. So, I believe so.
Butcher was 86 years. No, wait a minute. Yeah, 86 years old.
86. Okay.
Born in 1937.
Okay. All right.
And if I'm correct, I know Herb could tell us and everything. That's the last Vachon around, ain't there?
Right.
If I'm correct.
Yeah. But we're going to, but God bless those men for their service, what they've done in the business. I mean, obviously they're influential characters and that help the storylines and just business overall. Some people had some bad things to say about them, and some people had good things to say about them. So, whatever your stories, remember them. Just remember that they are human beings as well. They tried to make what they could of the business and tried to make it better. And they're no longer with us. So Godspeed to them, prayers and thoughts to their families that to go through this difficult transition of no longer being in their lives here on Earth, but hopefully down the road they'll be able to meet up again. So, but much love to them. And once again, we're going to we've got some other things to talk about as well as of course, one of the big things here we're going to talk about later on in the show is the final appearance of Sting tonight, and I believe it's Sting and Darby Allin defending their titles. Is against the Bucks. Good Lord, I think it is. I don't know. Quote me. I don't know if Jeremy is still in here. Maybe he can quote me on that. I thought it was Sting and Darby Allin against the Bucks, but if I'm wrong, I'm not afraid to say I'm wrong. So I had a lot going on this week.
On 411 real quick of what the matches were. Does not say yet right now for it. So.
Yeah, I found a clip here for my Facebook account.
I've fallen and I can't get up.
Yeah, so I mean, it's true. It's true. So I'll tell you what. I know Joe's been here commenting here, and hopefully Joe can get in with the link that we sent. So we are going to. We got about a few minutes here. We're going to go over our upcoming shows for our promotions around the area. For those who want to be featured here on the show, when we come back, we are going to be bantering and having our featured guest of the evening, which is the Silverback, Big Joe Helms, here in about a few minutes or so. Go grab a quick drink, come right back, and we'll be back here with you here. So check this out as we wait.
Check out these great shows and appearances coming to a city near you. Friday, March 15th, Tri-States Wrestling comes to the Time Out Entertainment Center located at 3414 South 22nd Street in St. Joseph, Missouri. Doors open at 6 p.m. and bell time is at 7 p.m. Scheduled to be in action are Jeremy Wyatt, Sam Stackhouse, Stormy Renee, and a feature bout between Franco Varga and AEW's Fuego del Sol. Ticket prices are $10 for front row, $5 general admission, and $25 to meet and greet Fuego del Sol. To get your tickets in advance, visit TriStatesWrestling.com. Glory Pro Wrestling presents the Road Warrior Cup, a 2-day celebration of tag team wrestling featuring the Road Warrior Cup tournament on Saturday, March 16th with a bell time of 7 p.m. and Sunday, March 17th with a bell time of 3 p.m. Doors open 1 hour before each event. Teams scheduled to compete in the tournament are M&M, The Premier, Violence is Forever, The Outrunners, BME, The New Guys, and more. Featured attraction match on the Sunday show pits Warhorse squaring off against Danhausen. For ticket information and pricing on single event and weekend passes, visit GloryProWrestling.com. Saturday, March 16th, New Breed Wrestling returns to the Eldon Community Center located at 309 East 2nd Street in Macon, Missouri. Heavyweight champ Nothing Neater Derek Teeter, Frodo the Ghost, Slammer, and many of your top new breed wrestling superstars are scheduled to be in action. Ticket price is $25 for VIP. General admission is $15. Kids 12 and under are $5. For more information on the event, visit facebook.com/newbreedmo. Saturday, March 16th, Illinois Elite Wrestling returns to the Helms Lodge in Granite City, Illinois as they present Phase 1 March Mayhem. Doors open at 5 p.m. with a bell time of 6 p.m. 3 championship matches are scheduled to take place, and also a first ever 8-man locus of control scramble match where a wrestler can capture a future championship opportunity. Door ticket prices are $15 for adults, $5 for kids. Kids 5 and under get it free. To save money on adult tickets, purchase tickets in advance by visiting IllinoisEliteWrestling.ticketleap.com. Saturday, March 16th, American Championship Wrestling returns to Cedar Hill, Missouri at VFW Post 5331 located at 1 Len Lane. Your main event is a triple threat tag team lumberjack match for the ACW Tag Team Championship as the Bomb Brian James and Marvelous Mark Morgan defend against Zero Tolerance and the Lumberjacks. Every wrestler around the ring serving as a lumberjack will have a chair to use legally. Doors open at 5 p.m. with a bell time of 6 p.m. Front row seats are $10. All other tickets are $6. Get your tickets at the door or get them in advance by going to acwtheshow.com. Remember, fans, without you in the seats, there is no wrestling. Make sure you make plans to attend these shows, and we'll see you at ringside.
Okay, so really there wasn't much. I didn't want to put too much out there because really there was a lot going on in March, and next week is going to be a lot. It's going to be probably about. I'm going to try to cut it down to 3.5 minutes, but it's going to be about closer to 4. So I had to make sure Daryl here or whoever it does my little AI voice. Start talking more faster like the Micro Machines guy. So,
Which also, by the way, there would be we are producing another podcast on Tuesdays for right now.
Oh, yes.
I want to throw that out there real quick. It's Six from the Bigs and Toys of Our Youth. They will not be broadcast through the Falls Count Everywhere channels, but it will be on Six from the Bigs and Toys of Our Youth. And it'd be live auctions on stuff. And this week is wrestling and Disney.
Wrestling
which pretty much
Disney
WWE's Disney looking like with a booking anyway.
Yeah. If you get a QR code for the pages or anything else. Hey, I wonder, do they have a link tree?
I haven't done it yet. Shut up. Okay. I'm trying. I got too much going on right now. Okay?
I know, man. I know, and I come at you like, I don't have a Facebook account anymore. Crap.
Well, you didn't know until I called you.
I know. Oh my gosh. All I gotta say is if you're a cyber spammer, I don't know. All I can tell you is this.
Get the hell out of my life. Who needs you? Beat it. Leave me alone.
You do no good.
Talk to Brittany, see what she can do to help fix your crap. So.
Right. That's another thing. I'm like, hey, I guess I should have reached out to Brittany. Like, hey, Brittany, you got any spammer experience? How can I? Can you use the Mighty Morphin power that I can get my account back? I mean, I'll do anything at this point, man. I am desperate.
How do I do that? I forgot. Shit. There we go.
Gosh.
Forgot how to do it. Anyway.
Oh my God.
We're not geeking out. I don't think Joe Helms is a geek, so.
Nah.
He kind of scares me.
So how about at this point, let's go ahead and get our guest brought on here. So our guest here is actually a lifelong athlete here that he's been involved with several sports. And of course, he's been in the wrestling business for about a few years or so. But he is making waves here in Missouri and Arkansas, Illinois, including SICW here around the St. Louis area. Of course, Mid-States Wrestling down in the southwest part of the state, as well as Harrison, Arkansas. So, without further ado, please welcome our featured guest of this evening, none other than the Silverback, Big Joe Helms. Hey, Joe, how's it hanging, man? Hopefully he can hear us. Can he hear us?
Can't hear you at all. I'm checking his stuff real quick just to make sure.
Oh, okay. He's checking his stuff real quick.
No, I'm checking it first, but
Okay.
he may have to. We had the same problem, I think, with Beast at one point in time, though, too. So
Yeah, we did. We did have that.
which I wonder if it's
His phone is acting up. So okay. So what you do? You put the phone in the corner for timeout for about 5 minutes. I'm joking, man.
Don't throw it at the wall. See, you're gonna have to wrestle him now, and he's gonna slam you.
Oh,
It may hurt his back, but it's gonna be worth it.
yeah. I had to deal with the knot in my back here too. Joe, keep
Have him
testing and
forward
see.
that link over to your phone, then, Kristen, and we'll get that going real quick.
Yeah. So you got the link to him and then also to somebody else in case of his phone's having trouble.
No, I did not. I'm gonna have to.
Okay. Okay. Well, let's.
Okay, there we go. He kind of left, I think.
I don't know. I don't know what I was staring at. So hang tight, guys. So yeah. So you might have to use. Okay, not a problem. Well, we'll get this. We'll get this started here, guys. We'll also let you know that Chiquita and Osprey is in the ring right now. They've been throwing down like mad. I will say though that the Revolution though for a good part of their matches have been pretty decent tonight. I will say that they are really stepping it up here tonight. Everything stepping it up for final night of.
Back away a little bit.
Okay.
Something's going on now. You're not sounding as clear as you were.
What? Okay, I got to check mine now. Make sure everything is going good. I think mine is okay.
Now you're sounding good. You were like,
Now I'm sounding good. Okay, maybe
yeah, you were kind of muffled, like when you were trying to eat the microphone or something.
Okay.
I mean,
as long as I'm okay.
That's not how the microphone gets a push. You know that, right?
Microphone's lucky it's here. So I guess I gotta watch my placement here, guys. So no. Any other questions, comments, anything else? You know what I missed here? Because you probably thought I jumped off the probably off the metaverse is
hold on real quick. Kristen, also he wasn't muted on to where we can see, so it's just something with a connection of some kind.
Yeah. I guess the phone, or is it the if he's going through an iPhone, you got to make sure that you are allowing access to that. Just make sure that your browser, you're allowing access to camera and microphone. And I'm trying to think what else could be what else could be something going on here too.
Well, if you're using an Apple product, that might be it for one. I mean,
oh gosh, we all have Apple and Android can have their hang-ups, but
I have no problems whenever I use mine. I mean, so it's just
well,
he has an Apple. I mean, so that might have been the issue. I mean, because Apple sucks.
Yeah, but he got it going though. You got it going.
In a minute.
Yeah. But we do want to thank everybody that's been tuning in here. So right now, like I said, we're AEW Revolution's happening here. We're going to be talking about, I guess, while we're doing this here, we will kind of. Oh yeah. What was that?
You just threw him under the bus. Look at the chat.
He has he has an antique phone. Mine is an Apple. Oh. So he's like,
he has a game controller.
He's got a game controller. Wow. That's pretty cool.
I think I can find a hot dog for yours. So
very fun. Very fun. But actually WWE 2K24 is coming out this weekend.
Oh, sweet! And I can make all my creator wrestlers again, like this one.
You already created him enough.
He's uploaded on there a lot, so
yeah, I'm sure. I'd like to see how many downloads that. You know, as I'm watching this here, the AEW Fight Forever, they're advertising their season pass, so I think they're gonna season pass out this game as much as GTA 5 comes out with new heists and missions. And the 11-year
what they
span
need
that
to do
GTA
is where
5 is
you can
gonna.
keep just like getting add-ons for the WWE 2K games. Just keep doing more add-ons instead of new games and in my opinion, I mean, but that's just me,
Yeah.
I was just gonna ask something. Funniest sign the other day that I saw driving around downtown Hollywood of where I live. And it was a sign that said somebody drinking a can of Coca-Cola, best Coke anywhere. I'm like, there's an advertisement that if they put Tony Khan in it, and that's going to be funny as heck. There's another
Best
company
Coke anywhere. Or I have a picture of Tony Khan say, "Not true." Oh man. Oh, but as this dwindles down here, let's kind of put a little bit of participation here for anybody that's watching. Well, for everybody that's watching, I should say. And me, I kind of put this here.
No worries, Kristen. I send some bad luck on technology for right now because I never got any Lamberts from down there. On a side note, funny as heck, it would be that I actually did a virtual vacation to Branson recently.
Oh yeah?
Yeah.
Did they kick you out again?
They never kicked me out of that town.
Oh, they never kick you out. Okay.
No.
Let's see, you've been in town for an hour. You need to go now.
Yeah,
No, they never did that.
My ass is what I was telling.
So, what did you find?
I was just going around virtually. There's a couple of different apps on the VR headset. World with 3 O's, but Ric Flair made that app called World. Or I forgot what the other one was called, and all that, where you could see the different basically Google Maps, Street View, so you can go around places, and also one of them has where you can change the year of the Google Map.
Oh wow!
As of right now, the Fudge Shop building is all torn down, but you go back a couple of years, it's still there.
Oh wow!
Magic.
Interesting.
Time travel.
Interesting. See, that's the type of thing I'll be interested in. It's just kind of see places, that have been, or like.
I have one you can use, but you need a fix.
It hurts right now. Don't. I know where you're going.
You don't actually need one anymore. You just need to make a Meta account.
Oh yeah, I like to meta somebody right now because that's very, 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 very.
Just remember that number you tried the other day. Was it yesterday or the day before?
Or Friday. Yeah.
Try that number again tomorrow and see.
Yeah.
Because Meta doesn't have customer service apparently.
No, they do not. But as much as this has been happening on, I want to somehow challenge this. But I mean, like I said, I'm going to fight it to the T. So we'll see. But as we're preparing for some other things that are happening on, it hasn't happened yet. But Sting's last match is probably going to be on deck here very shortly. But I'd like to know for those in the chat, those listening, what is your favorite memory of Sting? That's what I'd like to know. What is your favorite memory of Sting? But I can tell you right off the bat, mine. So, the best version of Sting for me has always been the first incarnation of Sting. We're talking to Venice Beach, California, flat top, blonde hair, even the day with the rat tail, Sting. that it takes me back to those days. And what's so special to me about the memory of Sting is that I think, was it the first time? No, I think I seen him like a couple times before. But my first time, my first ever pay-per-view attendance was at Starrcade 90 at the Old Keel Auditorium here in St. Louis, where Sting had to face the Black Scorpion. And if you don't know about the rivalry between Sting and the Black Scorpion, go back in time. You know, this is on the year of 1990. 90 was a big year between Ric Flair and Sting. So,
Kristen, have him open that link, not in the browser that pops up when you click it in Messenger. Have him open it in like another browser, like Chrome or Safari, whatever. That might fix that. I think that was the issue because I just tried it and it didn't want to approve my microphone either. So,
yeah. So you need to copy the link and paste it in Chrome,
the actual web browser.
Yeah, on an actual web browser,
or whatever it is. What is it like, Safari or whatever it is on the Apple stuff? No, I would say that's what I remember the most. He didn't have too much personality, I thought, when he became the Crow one, but that's what that look is anyway. But when he did the Joker Sting, I thought that was great.
Oh, no, he was a strong fan favorite. Kids cling to him. Kids.
No, I'm not saying that. I wasn't a fan of the Crow where he didn't really not talk much and everything.
Oh,
yeah.
Okay. I was like, are you talking about the first incarnation? What I was talking about? I was like, kids love the first Sting that they came.
No, I said I liked that one definitely, but I also liked the Crow Sting, or not the Crow, Joker Sting, but not the Crow one per se at first.
Right.
Because again, I mean, Brandon Lee, when he did the Crow, there was a lot of the dark brooding with it. I just heard something. No video feed. Hold on.
Oh, no, here we go.
Let's try it. Ready?
All right, yeah. So we'll get back to this.
You if it goes wrong. So.
Yeah, we'll get back to this. I'm going to take this down. And hopefully, I'm going to take this. Whoop, sorry. Hang tight here, guys. I'm doing a lot of things. I'm noticing
he looks frozen, though.
He does?
And I don't mean let it go. Yeah, he hasn't moved yet.
Uh-oh. Okay, well, never mind. We'll have to...
When I see him move is when it would be okay. Yep. No, he moved away, apparently. Wait a minute. He's back again.
Yeah, he's back again.
He looks good. Let's try it. You ready?
Let's try it. All right. Let's bring him on. Come on. Big Joe Helms. Let's go ahead and bring him on here, everybody. Do we have audio?
Yeah, I'm here.
Now. Hey, Joe, how you doing?
Yes. Hey, you know what? Behind every strong man, there's an even stronger woman. She saved the day for us, okay?
Yay!
No. Let's do it correctly. Behind every strong man is a smart woman. A smart
woman. Yes. She's a very smart, strong woman.
Yeah. For some of us, just puts up with us. So.
Yeah. She puts up with my crap. Yeah. As you can see, she threw me under the bus with my old phone. She's on me about it all the time.
Was it one of those Nokia phones where you could play Snake on it and everything?
No. It's an Android, but I do need to update it because I've dropped it enough and it's time for a new one.
Says he's still got the sticker that says "Imagine the power of 3G." So.
I'll laugh, but I'm not going to make the jokes because you got to work with him. I don't. So.
Hey, I got what?
Hey,
Ruby has to work with you. I don't, so I'm not going to.
Hey, it's all right. It's all good. So, but thanks for taking your time out here. And like I said, sorry we've had to run into a couple things. And like I said, a lot of this is my fault because I had to deal with the unfortunate circumstance of, once again, my account getting deleted or suspended on Facebook. And, like I said, I do a lot of the work here. So I had to, but thank God I got a lot of, GQ was the main backbone of getting this episode alive here this week. So much credit to him on that. So, but now let's go ahead and get started, man. I know you've had a long weekend. Last night at the Beauclair Fairgrounds.
Yeah.
Then of course your the SACW All Star Wrestling TV taping today. So and then having to get back home to Springfield, but at least it's a Springfield we know. So Springfield Mo.
Yes, sir.
I mean, there is a Springfield in every state, I believe. So
pretty much, yeah.
There is. Of course, there are some towns that also have one in every state, but Springfield's the most popular. So, so like I said, we were kind of talking about you being a well-rounded athlete, overall, even before even getting into wrestling, because you've been in the gym, you stayed active and healthy throughout your career.
Yes.
So even getting involved, before getting involved in professional wrestling, tell our audience your other sports career that you had previously and all the accomplishments that you achieved during that time in that sport.
Well, I played 15 years arena football throughout like Missouri. I played for the Springfield Wolfpack. It was the first arena football team to come to Springfield. Played for them from 07 to like 12. And then I left them and I played for the Voodoo. Played for them for a couple of years. Went to a championship with them and moved on to the 4-State Fusion out of Joplin. I played with them for about 5 years and I won 3 championships with them. I think we rattled off 50 some consecutive wins over that time. And we only lost like 3. And I think maybe it was one in a couple in a regular season and 1 championship maybe. And then I decided to come back home. Decided to come back home to Springfield and play for the Queen City Insane Asylum, and won 2 back-to-back championships with them. And so I just kind of got, after that amount of time, I was in my 40s, early 40s, and I was just like, I don't want to do this anymore. I got more in the tank, but I don't know what to do. And I've told this on podcast before. I pulled to the side of the road and had a conversation with God and said, I don't want to play football anymore. I just don't know what to do. I got more in the tank. I just want to go back to be a regular person because I'm just not a regular person. And I said, whatever it is, just give it to me. Let's go. And so a lot of times, ask and you shall receive. So the very next weekend was Father's Day weekend. And there ended up being a wrestling show in Republic, which was probably about, 10, 15 minutes from where I lived at. Went to that show, and I sat in the front row, and everybody stared at me. And I'm like, what's going on? All the security, everybody, the people that were on the other side of the rail were like, you look like you need to be in here. And I just kind of laughed at him, was like, yeah, whatever. And so, I was drinking my Sprite and eating my piece of pizza, enjoying the show. But I got these people just beaming eyeballs at me this whole time. And I'm like, am I on candy camera? Is there something? What's going on? So I finished watching the show. I see the guy that ran the place, and I told him who it was, and I said, you had a great show. I appreciate it. I had a good time. And I left. Very next day, I get a message from him. I'm at the gym telling my guys how much fun I had, And I almost didn't go to the show because my son didn't want to go, so I just went myself. And he said, I didn't realize who you were, but once I realized who you was, I wanted to extend an offer for you to be in a 15-man battle royal August 28th as a special guest. And I was like, I only wanted to do that since I was 12, And so I took him up on the offer. And so what it was is they thought I was a plant from another wrestling show to come in and mess up their show. And I'm like, I'm furthest thing from them, And so their general manager, Terry Zeller, was also their trainer. And so they brought me in, and I started, training with them. And he told me one time, he goes, Joe, he said, I knew as soon as you stepped foot in that ring that he was going to be a wrestler. He's like, you got to look. He's like, you got size. I mean, you can move. So, and he's like, he just knew. And so, and Terry is a former WWF guy. he was the last guy to be body bagged by the Undertaker, and that's the guy that started me in my training.
Wow.
Terry Zeller.
What? Terry Zeller. Oh, okay. For some reason, I was thinking. I was like, is that a Terry Gibbs? Because I remember the old Terry Gibbs jobber. No.
Well,
No, but
I find it funny that you asked for a sign to do something where you could be more normal, and yet you got into the wrestling business instead. Really doesn't make normal.
Yeah, you have to be somewhat abnormal to be a pro wrestler. Let's just be honest.
oh my goodness, yes. That I could attest that you do have to be someone that
You have to have some sort of a wrestling brain to comprehend the stuff that we put our bodies through and what we do on the daily to do this stuff
Or
that we
brave
love.
as much to do it. Yeah.
Well, I mean, I probably don't have that. It probably didn't have much brains left from playing that long of football anyways. I was a center, and yeah, there was a lot of times that I was questioning my brain, after playing for so long. I would be telling people the same stories over and over again, and they'd be like, Joe, you just told me that like 15 minutes ago. And I'm like, really? And ever since I quit playing, the fogginess went away, and the good thing about pro wrestling is you're constantly learning. And so your brain's constantly going, and you never stop learning with pro wrestling. And that's what I love about it so much. Because with arena ball or football period, it's the same thing day in, day out, forever. And at some point, it just got so stagnant for me. And I was just like, I can't do this no more. Like, I could, but it's just not, the drive's not there. I've got all these rings, I started more games than anybody in semi-pro. I've got, all these accolades from, the football. I'm done with it. I just don't want it. I've watched probably 2 games of football in the last 2.5 years or almost 3 years of being in pro wrestling.
Wow. That's
So
great,
during your time that you were in arena football, though, what would you think, or could you pinpoint, like, probably was the worst injury you had suffered?
The worst injury in arena that I suffered? 2008, I tore my ACL meniscus in my left knee. I long snapped for a field goal, and the dude botched it, and it was being returned up the field. And, I was pretty fast, so I was hauling butt down the field, and dude juked one way, and I juked back the other way, and my knee just went like that, and I felt it went down. I looked at my mom and dad, and I shook my head. I said, and I did the whole cut throat. I'm like, it's done. And then I tried to go in the back at halftime and tape it up and singe it up as much as I could to go back out there and try to finish the game, because it was an important game for us to go to the playoffs. And I just got buried. I had one leg. There was really nothing I could do. And we didn't have a backup. And so it was horrible after that. So
How long before that was when you decided to walk away? How long after that was it when you decided to walk away and get into wrestling and stuff?
Well, see, that was 2008, so I quit playing arena ball in 2021? 22? Yeah, 2022. Because I was still training, because we had a national championship that was coming up in I think it was October. And we had a national championship coming up, and I would train in the mornings for arena football for a few hours and then go home and shower and go hit the ring for 5 hours on Saturday, and then I'd do the same thing on Sunday. And when I got home, my body was destroyed. I'll never forget yelling at my son to come in there and bring me something to drink because I can't move. It's one thing being in shape for football, and it's a whole completely different world stepping in the ring. Ring shape and other sport shape is not the same. People think they can just get in there and do it. It is not the same.
And it's 1 out of every 1,000 people that try it, they actually still stick with it. I mean, everybody that thinks it is like, I remember so many rookie classes that I've seen get started, and maybe 1 or 2 continued on for a while longer, or kept doing it, or still doing it. So it's not an easy sport by any means whatsoever.
So funny note about that injury that I was telling you about. So I tore that ACL meniscus in 2008, right? I had the meniscus fixed, and I still don't have an ACL on my left leg till this day.
God dang.
So, yeah. And you see me doing all those cartwheels and stuff in the ring and all the drop kicks and everything I do. It doesn't bother me.
Wow. I mean,
I would recommend body slamming him, though. I mean, that would probably put a lot of strain on it. But you know.
Well, I mean, we've been in the ring before. I mean, I haven't body slammed him, but
I got video.
I Bubba bombed him.
Yeah, that's yeah. I mean, that was a test. It's trust me. The Texan will slam me before he'll tell you it's a chore. I'll tell you. It's
Now, I body slammed Kowalski 2 times. That's 460 pounds.
Yeah.
Yeah. Yeah, I don't know.
So I got that one. I got that one in my belt. I'm gonna start making shirts that says I slammed Kowalski.
Here you go. Oh my goodness. Yeah, because weren't you're the one that actually took that challenge, right? You because was there like a body slam challenge for him?
No, it was just basically one of those deals where I'm feuding with Lucky in the Dogtown because I used to be the hired gun and I was with them, and they turned their back on me. Pretty much started at FanFest last year, and then I brought the Silverback back.
Oh, okay. There you go. Yeah, because I was wondering because I thought he had like a body slam challenge, and I thought you were the one that took the money, or took the slam.
Shoot, I wish there was a body slam challenge for him. That'd be sweet. The buffet challenge, he might win that one.
Yeah. I don't know. I guess I could come in a close second if I really tried. Yeah.
I used to be like that. I used to be able to put the food down like crazy. I can't do that no more. I just can't. My body won't allow it.
Yeah. Yeah, I know. Hey, we want to send some love out here to our other Jeff City Mouse and Miz watching. Like I said, Z, get better, buddy. I know he's been kind of dealing with some pain and really trying to put himself through the mill. But I told him, I said, take the week off, brother. We'll have you here next week, and we'll.
And you know what he's doing? He's sitting at home playing video games. So.
Oh, he's watching us. He's watching. Or, I guess he could multitask as well. So, you know, the crazy thing here is that you went to a wrestling show. And just to kind of because
got found.
Yeah, you got found. You got found at a wrestling show, and the crazy thing is that they wanted you to be in a battle royal, and you've never stepped inside of a squared circle before. You haven't taken a bump. You haven't ran ropes. Haven't done hip tosses, arm drags, none of that. I mean, for all I can explain that because that's kind of like your beginning basics here with all your bumps first, and then once you mastered that. Then you start doing with your lockups, hip tosses, arm drags, do your basics. And then also all the calisthenics that have involved in the ring, you know, with drop downs and everything else. So, you know, I've been down that road. So it's, you know, but to be crazy, but here's the thing I want to know: did you actually get in? I mean, did you participate in that battle royal? Because I'm.
Yeah. Okay, so it was June, which is Father's Day, correct? And I was still playing at the time, so I had some games in it, and they wanted me to get blood work and a license and everything before I even started training with them. Okay, they were odd cat type of people, and so I went and did that. And once I got in the ring, and I probably only trained a couple, like maybe 2 or 3 weeks before I got in the battle royal. Okay. So when I got into Battle Royal, there was guys in there, and I wish I would have known. I'd sent you video because I've got the video of my very first time in there. There was guys from like WLW and some other ones that were in this Battle Royal, and whenever they got back, in the back, they were like, "I thought you had been doing this for years already." Because guys, I used to do kind of like backyard wrestling stuff, and we used to wrestle all over the neighborhood, and everybody used to do. We'd throw mattresses together, and what's crazy is we would talk to each other as we're doing the moves and all that stuff as kids. And now, as I think back on it and the stuff that we do now, I'm like, we were working in the backyard and didn't realize it. We were calling it as we went. We were doing the things that we're trained to do. I was doing this as a kid, and it stuck in my head for forever. And so whenever I got in there, it was just like, all right, let's just make my body do this stuff like I did back when I was a young kid or a young man doing it in the backyard. And it was just, I don't want to say easy because it sucked at first. But the more I watched it, the more my brain turned, the more things clicked, and I asked questions, and I was like, let me see this again. Let me try it again. And my goal was to always come back the next week after studying and impress the trainers on what I had learned since, or if they told me to go study Billy Jack Haynes or go study Big Josh or go study the moves of this guy, I would go do that.
Big Josh. Wow.
Yeah.
One of Matt Bourne's gimmicks. That's crazy. Wow, Big Josh. I never Big Josh. No, that's funny. So no, that is just insane that that they pulled you out of your head about maybe 2 or 3 weeks. So you didn't go in there completely dry, not knowing exactly what to do, and apparently you. So I guess that kind of also leads me. So you were a wrestling fan before you even got involved in the business. I guess because if you're doing it in the backyard, obviously you got to be a fan of it somewhat. So,
Yeah.
So on that, what promotions were you watching on TV? Before when you were watching wrestling, you got involved watching it, and if you can remember or recollect, what is the most what do you consider the best match that you ever saw, whether it be on television or even in person yourself?
The promotions that I watched growing up, I would always watch World Class. I'd get out of school and haul butt home, and I think it was Channel 13 on the box. It was World Class, man. I'd always watch. Iceman King Parsons would be on there. I want to say Hot Stuff Eddie Gilbert was on there. I believe.
Gotcha.
I remember some Missing Link stuff somewhere.
Yes,
Link, bro, I'm telling you, dude, that's the man.
Yeah.
And that guy had a pretty good career before he became the Link. So, and that extended his career. I watched some WCW stuff. I was a big WWF fan. I didn't watch any really ECW. What were some other ones? I liked the NWA.
Yeah.
I don't know. With living here in Missouri, it was just really so much that I could watch.
True. Yeah. I mean,
but I enjoyed it all. The WWF was just almost like movie type wrestling, because it was so stardom. And then when you would watch World Class, it was like meat and potatoes wrestling, if that makes any sense.
Mm-hmm.
Where the guys really dug in and were just really showed what they were for. It wasn't show, it was old school wrestling.
Yes.
Yeah. The best matches I have seen in person, I would have to say, it'd have to be like Luke Langley and Colton Bott at Mid-States, man. I'm just going to tell you, those two guys.
Oh, yeah. Amazing. Oh, yeah. Yeah.
Blow me away, man. I'm like, dang. I couldn't move around. I wouldn't be able to move the next day if I did some of that stuff those guys do.
Oh man, yeah. I was on a card when Luke Langley was probably about a couple years in, and I saw him. I'm like, man, this dude's gonna be something. That was like back in 2011, I think. Out in Kansas, and I was like, man, that dude's gonna be something, and he's still killing it today. So.
Yeah, and I don't see why he's not making six figures somewhere. I just don't get it.
I don't know. Like I said,
he has a good look. He can move. Like, he knows he's a ring general. Like, whew.
Yeah, I know. I mean, like I said, that's the thing with today. I mean, the popularity of this industry has gotten broader and stronger. There's promotions that are being developed everywhere, and a lot of those promotions are kind of side promotions to try to get in somewhere. But what I mean, like, six figures somewhere. I mean, like I say, obviously you're looking at AEW or WWE, but I mean, you never know. I mean, you never know what could be for TNA. Uh,
Right.
you know, like I said, there's a lot of stuff in New Japan. There's another good one. Um, but I mean, you got to get your door in somewhere if you want to try. It just all depends. I mean,
Yeah.
where you want to go and where you want to shoot for. So, I mean, but
Right.
like I said, it's as long as you keep trying. I mean, they'll probably your better shots though. Really, it's either TNA or even AEW.
Yeah.
And then see how they go because I really don't know what the requirements are with WWE. I know they may put an age limit on it. I don't know. You know,
Yeah.
and I don't even know how
I
old he
feel like
is. So it could be an age limit thing. I don't know. I just really don't know anymore since that one McMahon is totally out of the picture now.
I think
So
Yeah.
almost all the McMahons are out of the picture right now. So
yeah,
So I mean, you had already said how you got the where you went to the indie show, and they wanted you to be in the battle royal and stuff, and what people had said, and you mentioned who your trainers were. How long did you actually
Yeah.
train before you had like an actual singles match?
Let's see. I started training. I kept training after that because at first it was just going to be like a one-time thing, and then I was like, nah, I've always wanted to do this, and I did pretty. I went back and watched my match there not very long ago, and I was like, wow, actually wasn't that bad, and I was like, God threw this in my lap, and I'm going to go for it. And if I don't do it and I die, He's going to ask me, hey, you asked for this, why didn't you do it? So I just went and done it. I'd say the next show that we had was in October, and I had my first singles match. So I kept training and training. And then, that company started to kind of fall apart. And I started training with them on Saturdays and Sundays. And then I would go and sneak down to Mid States and train with Jason Jones on Tuesday nights. And they all kind of they didn't like each other. So it took a while for Jason to kind of trust me coming from that other company. And I was trying to bridge the issues and try to get them to work together. And I almost had it worked out, but the dumb butt from where I was from was just an idiot. So, but no, I started trying. I was training back and forth, back and forth, back and forth. And I trained probably, let's see, about 3 or 4 months with Jason before he came to me and said, hey, look, I got an opportunity for you. I need you to play a heel. I'm looking for a Big Bubba Rogers / Mr. Hughes character. And I was like, I got you. Because I worked in the strip club as a bouncer, and my hired gun character would look like a mafia mobster hitman. Was perfect. And so I went right straight into playing this hired gun character. So I started playing a heel for Jason. And so, yeah. And so that's how that worked out. So I basically got, gosh, it seems like I had about a year and a half of training in less than a year because I was double dipping so much. I just kept going, driving to seminars, writing stuff down, seminars, Cape Girardeau, Tulsa, I was going all over the place, hitting seminars, absorbing. I couldn't get enough. I felt like Johnny Five, man. Input.
There you go. There.
And so I'm like, if I was going to do it, I wanted to do it. I wasn't playing around,
I love a movie reference I can get with Johnny Five.
Yes.
Love it. That's awesome. Well, so like I say, there's probably with some athletes I know with depending on the type of sport or what the sport is. Even for myself, I like to have like a typical like day for my like I usually go through like either like some type of ritual, superstition, or just some type of itinerary. So
Yeah.
take us through a typical show day for you from the time you get up until the time you're done with the show. Is there any certain superstitions, routines you do to keep your mind, body at ease? And if so, what does that usually entail?
You gotta excuse me, Lady Gun's messing with me over here talking about daily rituals. So like before my matches or show days.
No sacrificial stuff, just
So were you talking about like superstitious type stuff, like show days or whatever before I leave,
yeah,
that kind of thing?
like maybe you're like for me, it's like either a favorite drink or I have like a certain playlist I like to listen to get myself in the mood or get focused. You know,
Shut up. Uh,
tell your lady to shut up, or
Stop. So, so you gotta stop. I can't focus. Okay. So I like to get. I try to eat a decent breakfast when I get up. Shut up. And
sausage.
I just I'm kind of what you call a pretty boy in a way. I groom. I have to groom my body. Shave everything, trim up, clean up, go to the gym early in the morning, tan.
Definitely not comb your hair, but
that's right. That saves some time. Dye my beard, things like that.
Get a wig.
Energy drinks, maybe listen to some music, come back to the house. She'll be putting my gear together, my merchandise together, because she makes a lot of my stuff, actually pretty much all of it. It's a ritual of us working together to make a successful trip or a successful show. She helps me get my mind right, with things, and night before she'll be like, go watch some, go study some stuff on YouTube. She'll make me do something. Sometimes I'll get distracted and she'll be like, you need to go study some stuff, just things like that. It's a weekly thing every time. And she'll be like, okay, do you have your elbow pads, your knee pads? Are they washed? Are, tape, things like that. Do you have ibuprofen? Do you have muscle rub? Blah, 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 So it's a real, it's a real team over here actually with us. So it's not all on me. I couldn't do it. I couldn't do most of the stuff I do if I didn't have her. So she's been a blessing in my life since I started doing the wrestling, because I was trying to do the merchandise myself. And I was doing it for a while, but man, it was just like, it was stressful because, I work a full-time job. I've got 3 kids and 5 grandkids.
Goodness.
And she's a blessing, man. I was like, so that's pretty much my morning before every show, before I take off.
My goodness. Yeah. There's usually
minus some other things I can't talk about.
Yeah, I like to run a routine, but there's always something popping up on show days, like, oh gosh, I'm running behind, or something else comes up, or I gotta worry about other people that are supposed to be coming with me, that they're not ready, or it's like,
I traveled to Ruby before, and it was like, hey, we'll be leaving in 5 minutes.
Yeah, trying to make call time, trying to make the call time, that they want you there. You never know what pops up. I work for Mid-States, SICW, and New Breed Wrestling right now, pretty much year round, just trying to split dates with everybody so everybody can have a little bit of the Silverback. So, sometimes it's like, they want me to do this story over here, but they want me over here doing this, and Mid-States is my home, so I've got to take care of them. And it's a struggle to decide, who gets what.
Yeah, I hear you. Yeah, I don't know. Like I said, I kind of take my select bookings too. Wherever I'm called to do, and I don't know. It seems I'm kind of having a light load so far this year, and I was hoping at least get up to be in attendance for last night's show, but then I've been battling somebody else in the household that's been kind of giving me their
Yeah.
aura. I was to say that I'm having a cough and stuff, and now I'm feeling more hoarse than Marge shot. But
Yeah.
that's an old.
You missed a good show last night.
Oh, man, I know. I seen the hustlers were in the crowd, kind of eyeing the top guns and hating and perpetrating. You know.
Yeah. I took on Axe Allworth last night, and Lucky was his manager last night.
Oh, goodness.
Lucky hit me with a protection order, saying I couldn't touch him or I'd be sued. Blah blah blah.
Well,
Yeah.
why would you
You
want
know.
to touch him though? I mean, because he's icky. I mean, so.
Well, I mean,
He tried his cheating tactics on me, and I knocked the living crap out of him. So
Well, that'll do it.
I mean, if anyone wants
Yeah.
to touch Lucky, then it's going to involve latex gloves. So I mean,
I charge by the hour.
oh my god. Well, in this case, it'd probably be a couple minutes.
One pizza.
Oh, so hey, speaking of some chuckles here, it's about that time in our show that we're going to be doing a few, looking at a couple little pictures here. Yeah, we do this every week, and we usually like to do it with a guest on here, and it is time once for that. Here we go. That's right. It is Wrestling's Gold Memes, everybody.
You got the music good.
Yay. I've been doing good, okay, mostly recently. So, doing okay for the most part this week here. So, let's get right to it here. Well, hold on a second. There we go. I was went full screen for everything. Hold on. So, for our first memes here, as wrestlers, hey, take us seriously, but also wrestlers. What's up with freaking big Yoshi Crocs on freaking Seth Rollins?
Seth Rollins kills me, man. He always has something over the top crazy.
I know, it's crazy.
I'm gonna get a lime green pair of those to send to somebody.
Oh, I will wear it. I will wear it. It's crazy. Let's see. Let's check out our next one here. Oh yeah, me and the boys after realizing we're too old to party like we used to. There you go.
Yep.
First thing, which by the way, they're preparing for the last or main event of the night. Flair and Steamboat are in attendance already. They've been introduced coming down the aisle. And so I don't know who's gonna oh yeah, here come the Jackson brothers. Okay, so moving on. Next one. Oh, where your rich boss forces you to go watch his team lose with Tony Khan. There in the bottom left, and there's a little Darby Allin, little Jake Hager.
No, that's Orange Cassidy.
Are you sure it's Cassidy? Oh yeah,
Yes.
it is.
You know
Cassidy.
that he brought the two people that even if they're in gimmick, they have no personality to show, so they won't be reacting to anything at the game.
Right, true. I have no idea who this clown is, but anyway.
He's the one that gave Tony the Coca-Cola. Yeah, that's it.
Oh, okay. You always wondered with that look on his face, what the hell is he thinking? I have no
Yeah.
I'm not Buzz. I need help.
Anybody got a Coke? Anyway,
Boom.
oh, you're gonna love this next one here, GQ. Check it out. This is Mae Young's son born during the Attitude Era today.
Oh, geez.
Proud dad
Oh,
moment.
gosh. I'll never forget that.
Oh my goodness! And
Well,
one more
what's the
here.
son trying to say real quick? One in the pink and two in the... Anyway.
No,
Oh my goodness.
it should have been three and some other. Never mind.
Oh,
Anyway,
no, he's a fan of Matt Hardy. That's what it is.
bye. Whew, okay. So, yeah. It's kind of funny how they're doing that. It's kind of funny how they're doing that. It's really, really,
Shocker,
really.
rocker. Anyway.
Yeah, oh my God.
Anyway,
remember
moving
how
on.
we're trying-
Keep going.
You remember how we're trying to branch out to get throughout social media? Well, did you all figure out the snappy chats and TikToks yet? Remember, is old Generation X right here.
Brittany would love this one right now.
Oh my goodness! You gotta admit that's that's something else. I mean, you come on now. You got to give him credit for that. Anyway, that's it for that this week. Oh my goodness! I wish you could see the intro on this. They're doing a final Showtime intro monologue. Staying in an empty theater. Goodness gracious. Well,
So, my next question is, what would you consider to be your most memorable match to date, and what would be also your favorite feud or storyline you've been a part of?
My most favorite match right at this moment, I actually got to do a 6-man tag in Miami, Oklahoma last weekend against Eric Rowan from the WWE, Redbeard.
oh, sweet. Okay.
So that was pretty memorable. And the fact that I pissed off Scotty Too Hottie.
Okay, hold on.
Hold the phone. Wait a minute.
What did you do? And if you won't answer it, just give the phone over to her, and I know she's going to tell us. So
Okay, so it wasn't what I did. It was what he did. Okay, first off, he showed up late to the signing. I didn't even think he was going to be there. Okay, I'm sitting in the locker room, and my shoulder pads and spikes and everything, someone that always comes out and gets them, they break them. They break something off of them every week. And so, I've finally gotten to the point, okay, I'm just going to put these behind this door out of everybody's way so nothing happens to them. And I'm sitting here on my phone texting the Lady Gun, and this guy walks around me, jumps over my shoulder pads, flips a switch, jumps back over him, stomps and breaks my spikes off my pads. And I'm like, really? You got to be kidding me, right? And I'm not looking up at all. And dude's like, oh, I'm sorry, man. I didn't mean to. I was like, well, you got any glue? You got anything to fix him with? And he's like, nah. I was like, whatever. I was pissed. I was thoroughly pissed at this point. And as he walked to the other side there, I heard him say, is this guy ribbing me? Like, really? And I thought to myself, okay, none of these young cats in here are going to be talking like that, talk about ribs and stuff. So I looked up and it was Scotty Too Hottie. And I was like, shit. Yeah, damn it. And I was, damn. So I got up and I walked over to him. His back was to me and he was stretching out with these bands or whatever. And I was sitting down at the time, so he didn't realize how big it was. When I got up, he turned around. His eyes were like this big around. And I was like, hey, man, I just want to tell you, I apologize, man. I said, people keep breaking my stuff every week. I said, it just rubbed me the wrong way. I apologize. I'm going to go sit down, man. You're good, whatever. He goes, yeah, I know, I'm good. And I'm like, really? And so I went and sat down. I was trying to keep my cool. I'm like, I'm eating crow and apologizing and everything, And so next thing you know, I hear him talking to this guy he came in with, some like, I don't know, he looked like a street guy or whatever. And he was talking about me being a dick. Just kept poking the bear. And I was just like, am I going to have to kick his ass? Like, seriously, because he wouldn't let it go. And so I went and told the guy that brought me in, and he was like, look, he's like, do you think he would have apologized to you if it had been the other way around? He's like, he wouldn't have. He's like, let it go. It's not a big, I'll deal with them later. I was like, well, that makes me feel better because he said he has to deal with that kind of crap from them all the time. And I'm like, it'd have been one thing if you'd have been like, hey, bro, you want to move these so I don't, like, why would you hop over somebody's stuff behind a door and then hop back over and not expect nothing to happen? You know what I'm saying? And so, yeah, I kind of pissed him off because I was a dick about it, but I feel like I had rightfully to be a dick about it. So I apologized. I manned up, apologized, and that was that. So,
Man, what?
and
Wow.
and so I went and well, at least I got a good story out of it. And then I went and had my match, my 6-man tag with Eric Rowan, who is a very big man. Very nice guy, by the way.
Oh yeah, yeah. From what I heard, yeah, he is pretty awesome individual. So yeah, one of my favorites, part of the Wyatt of all the Wyatt family. So, and then of course him tagging with Harper or Brody Lee, that those guys were dominating. So, oh wow, that's crazy. That's all. I mean, gosh, that's a road story all wrapped up in it as well too.
Oh yeah. I could tell you about the time I trained with a guy with one arm, and he was missing his left arm, the one arm you need, right? And I was training with him back when I first started training with those guys, and we were doing a seminar, and Xander Gold was in the seminar. He was doing the seminar, and he had me in a headlock, which was his only arm. And so he had like this grip of death on my face, over my mouth, right? And I can't breathe. And I'm looking up like, somebody say something. I don't want to be disrespectful. And I'm getting to where I can't breathe. So I pick him up and I throw him across the ring into the turnbuckle on the other side. And I'm like, you need to get off of me. Like, I couldn't breathe, And he got all upset and was like, I'm not going to train with a bunch of babies. And I was like, look, we can go outside and talk about this like adults. I didn't say it like I'm going to kick your butt type. I was just like, we can go talk about this outside so we don't interrupt this. And he went and called the police. Told him I assaulted him. Told them I assaulted him. And I'm in the middle of this seminar with Xander Gold, Pineapple Jack, and somebody else. And Terry Zeller opens the door to the office, and I look in there and I see 2 officers, and I'm like, oh my gosh. I said, please don't tell me that's over that situation. And then he comes over to me. He's like, hey, they want to talk to you in the office. So I'm like, get out of here. You guys are playing with me, right? But once the officers got in there and seen it was pro wrestling, they're like, oh, we could wrap this up real quick. But they didn't stop him from trying to press charges on me in the future. And I'm like, bro, I got a license for this. It's like, this ain't no different than boxing. Like, I go knock you out in the ring training. You're going to try to come back and try to press charges on me? Like, seriously? Like, so.
What the first thing you should have said to the police was, it wasn't me, it was the one-armed man.
Right. The one-armed man started it. But yeah, I mean, only me. Crazy stuff happens to only me.
I mean, I wonder what kind of look he gave you when you called for an arm drag. So I mean, that's all.
Yeah, he had to do everything through his other side, and everybody was like, bro, it's not going to work for you, because he kept using the excuse Zach Gowen. I'm like, Zach Gowen had one leg and had a prosthetic. Like, you don't have the arm that we need. Like, you could ref and you can do some commentary or something else. Wrestling's not for everybody, but there is stuff you can do with wrestling that doesn't pertain to be a wrestler. And some people just, I get it's their dream and they want to keep pushing. They want to keep pushing.
I mean, he could have been a manager. He could have managed a casino tag team. He could be the one-armed bandit.
I mean, yeah. Yeah, he could have a guy with missing the eye patch on the other side,
Ruby, take it over, because I'm going to keep going on this one.
Yeah. So we're not going to talk about
the prosthetic tag team,
the missing digits, or.
You guys are.
Oh my goodness, I'm going to hell. Anyway.
Yeah. Hey, look, I did a show with Mid States in Wichita, and it was for Special Olympics, and I had to play the hired gun. I had to be a bad guy. And those kids come up to me wanting to shake my hand and be nice to me, and I had to be a heel and be mean to them, and the whole time I'm muttering under my breath, I'm going to hell. And so I'm just like, But at least the next year, I got to come back as the Silverback in front of like 1,300 people and be a good guy. So I felt like I redeemed myself a little bit.
So I'm kind of wondering, it's like, how did you pull off with being a heel turn? Like, did you tell him like, I saw you pick your nose with that hand. I'm not going there. No, I'm just
Right.
or just say, "Where's the hand sanitizer?" Do
Right.
something like that. Oh no, I mean, it's very, something like that. That really tests your skill as far as how to come across as a heel. It really tests your skill.
Right.
Yeah. But I mean, it can be done. So, so with us being those larger guys, I mean, you've basically been in. I mean, with myself, Peyton Nares, Kowalski, X Aldward, even with Texan. So basically these guys, I mean, I'm sure, like I said, you might have also maybe encountered somebody else, large that's, depends on who you worked with here. But would you say, is there any particular element or characteristic that you feel is missing with most larger guys with their wrestling performance today? And if so, what would you do in order to kind of make things better as a bigger guy trying to work in the ring?
I feel like there's a lot of bigger guys that are actually afraid to throw a little behind their shots, so you can feel and learn to react to things. I have to constantly tell guys, put some oomph into it, make it as believable as you can in the matches. Like, you're not going to hurt me. I tell them before matches, lay it in. And there's times after I've said that 20 times before the match, during the match, I'm like, you gotta have to hit me harder than that, So, and it's like teaching them, like, I'm not gonna be mad at you. I don't believe in receipts. I don't, unless I know for a fact you're straight being a jerk. I got booted in the nose by Sean Vincent a few weeks ago, and my nose bloodied all over the place. And I know it wasn't on purpose. I mean,
well, he's back afterwards. He's Canadian. I mean, so.
Yeah. But you also got to remember, it's not ballet either. I mean, it is. I mean, honestly, it is an athletic performance when you're doing wrestling, of course. Any other sport is an athletic performance.
Yeah.
You have to engage in some type of combat. Okay.
Yeah.
So, like a couple weeks ago, I didn't know that there was going to be a chair coming so early into the match, and I was going to get hit in the backside of my head, but I did.
Yeah.
I was a little woozy for about a minute, but
yeah.
I still had to continue on. But
I think I've had one of those before. So
I took a drop kick in the mouth. I took a drop kick in the mouth on an SICW show, Austin Molitalo. I didn't think he was going to get up that high, and he got me right in the mouth. And it put three of my lower teeth through my lip, and I was just spitting blood everywhere. And so it was just one of those. I didn't think he was going to get up that high, and he did. So, it happens.
Dang. Wow. No, yeah, I agree. I mean, sometimes, and that's really a big critique of mine. And not just big, just anybody. I mean, if you're going to throw something, make sure that it's going to connect. Because if you don't connect with me, I'm going to look at you like, what are you doing? I'm still here.
Yeah.
You just threw a boot, but you didn't hit me. So
right.
I'm not, unless if you didn't shower for like the entire week and that whole waft came with that boot, then maybe I probably knocked myself on the back of my shoulders. But otherwise, you got to you got to put a little more effort into that. Make sure that these people see that you're hitting me. I don't go down. I don't go down without a fight. So
Yeah, I tell them a lot of times. I'm like, we're too big to be throwing weak stuff.
Right.
Like we're too big.
Yeah. I don't know. Like I said, some dudes in like first. There's somebody I worked for the first time down in Arkansas. Was about last month. You know, was down for the Inhumane Championship Wrestling, and he's throwing his stuff. He's throwing his stuff in, but it's like he keeps punching me in the stomach, chopping me in the chest. I'm like, you're not getting anywhere, and then I just maul him down.
Yeah.
I remember.
Then the crowd popped.
I remember when I was throwing in a match down at HCW, and they're using weapons, and it's like, bam, bam. So I go over there. It's like I gotta show them this. It's like that's how you do it. And they were like the cookie sheets that were flimsy anyway. So why be afraid to hit with that? You know?
Right.
Yeah. If you get concussed by a Dollar Tree cookie sheet, then there's something wrong with you. I'm just saying.
No, you can get concussed with a Dollar Tree cookie. I mean, but not the cookie sheet. I know from experience. We're moving on. So,
wow.
With the assumption that you're looking to wrestle for many, many more years to come, do you have a bucket list of your own for places you would like to wrestle, certain talent to wrestle, or anything like that? And, have you had ones before, and then now do you have any going forward on the bucket list?
Going forward on my bucket list, I'd like to try to wrestle for AEW or actually NWA, because I watched a lot of NWA as a kid, and to me that's holy grail stuff for me. Mm-hmm. I don't know that I'd ever make it to a WWE thing. I just feel like my age is going to hinder me. But I mean, shoot, I'm open to dark matches, things like that, just to say I did it. I'd like to wrestle Trevor Murdoch. I've said that quite a few times. I'd like to have that opportunity. I mean, I'm down to wrestle whatever. I don't know so much hardcore matches. I don't know. It's just hardcore matches really aren't my thing. So, but I mean, I guess if the money's right.
Right. Right. I mean, yeah. At least in these days, it's like there's got to be a purpose to do something like that. I'm not just gonna say, hey, we're tonight. We're gonna do a death match. Okay. What did we do last month? Oh, well, you just did an interview segment. know.
Yeah, I've never did one of those matches, so.
Trust me, you're not missing much.
I'm not big on those. I mean, I'm like, not to take anything away from the guys that do them, because a lot of those, they do a good job in them. But I kind of, like Al Snow says, man, those kind of gimmick matches are to cover up where you can't work in some places.
Yeah, mm-hmm. and even when WWE was doing the hardcore title, when ECW was still around and everything else, we even still companies around here were having their own hardcore division, and I was actually a hardcore champion in 2 different companies.
Right.
And even GQ was one. So
so was my teddy bear, which was kind of funny on that show. But anyway.
Yeah, I know. Yeah. Some will take it in a humorous approach. Others will go right to the core and bring in anything out of the salvage yard to use.
Oh yeah.
I've used box fans. I use shopping carts. I use old plastic construction cones.
You use grids? Sorry, I had to.
That's a different. You shut up.
Moving on.
Yeah. Even with bowling balls, I even brought a bowling ball and used it. We were in. Yeah.
Anyway.
I even got the power bomb somebody on a wooden casket in the match. So it's yeah. I thought it was gonna be okay, but apparently the plywood was a little bit too thick for the bump taking, and I felt so bad for the dude. And he just thought and hardly moved. I'm like, thank God this match is over. Yeah. Sorry, Christian Hayes, Billy Yates. My bad. So, but no, it I got a chance to do a lot throughout that time. So,
Now we're all too old for this shiznit.
right.
So anyway, Ruby, go ahead.
No, I'm okay. I just want to make sure I'm being heard okay. I don't know if
Yeah, you're fine.
Yeah.
Okay. I don't know. I was thinking I was hearing something, but I guess it's just my nerves. So with your experience so far, you've been here a few years. If someone approaches you, like somebody new wanting to get involved in the wrestling business, and they want to know what your experience has been so far, what experiences would you tell them to make them ponder their decision one way or another if they would want to get involved? Like, what would you tell them to kind of make them think about their decision on that?
How much time away from their family they're going to be. Ponder that. If you got new little kids and stuff, man, you better spend the time with them while you can, because wrestling takes a lot of time away. Time away training. You got to train at home. Yeah, you got to study. You got to train in the gym. You got to keep your body a certain way because you will break down. You got to eat right. I mean, there's just so much that you got to do, and it takes away from your focus on a lot of things. You can't look at indie circuit wrestling as it's going to be a full-time job, because you're going to have a full-time job as well. It's just in my experiences, I mean, you have to travel a lot before you can actually be in the ring and get with these guys, because I mean, you got to go to seminars. You got to learn from everybody. Mm-hmm. It's a constant wash and repeat situation. It's gone all the time. I don't hardly ever get to see my grandkids and my kids. I have to stop and take away from some of the stuff that I do weekly just so I could get a little time with them. So I mean, that's the main thing. I mean, if you don't have a family that's close, cool, by all means, do what you need to do. But that's mainly the main thing. That's the main drawback. Mm-hmm. You just got to listen. You got to have open ears and mouth shut all the time.
Yeah.
You got to watch who you talk to. You got to be very careful.
Yeah, very true.
Yes. Because I mean, it's just one of those things, man. It's wrestling is a next man up sport. You're replaceable no matter what. Mm-hmm. So that's basically how I look at it. And if it becomes too much of a job and it ain't fun anymore, you probably should get out of it.
Yeah, very, very true. So, yeah, and I guess it also depends on if you get in this business, what's your intent, what you want to do. Do you just want to do it as, even if you want to do it to stay local, to get, the experience, to just kind of get around, do local stuff. I mean, even though do you want to try for it, but you still have to go through that route. You almost want to tell them, hey, it all depends what you put into it, but it also means, you can't take rejection bad. You got to keep trying at it if you're going to try for those avenues.
You got to have tough skin, very tough skin. You have to learn to take criticism and take it as a learning point, not as someone trying to put you down.
Mm-hmm. No, I agree with that. There's too many snowflakes coming in at times nowadays, so.
Right. Absolutely. So, excuse me. Sorry, guys. Let me take another drink here. But no, I mean, either way, you have to go through the seminars. You want to be trained right by people who've actually been there and actually done a lot in the business. But don't don't hire your neighbor down the street that's watched it for like 20 years, but hasn't actually stepped inside of a ring. Hey, I think they did it this way.
Yeah, you got people's lives in your hands all the time. You got to be able to know that that other dude was trained well and be able to trust him with your life as he does with yours. You got to keep people safe. So
I think a lot of people getting into business nowadays need to watch matches where accidents have happened. So you can see it's like you don't stop training because this could be what happened, and you're not knowing everything once you have your first match. You have to keep learning. You have to keep going. You have to learn to protect and everything like that.
yeah.
You don't want this to be you hurting somebody or you getting hurt yourself.
Yeah, I mean, absolutely. So, well, I mean, like I said, I know you've only been in here about a few years, like I said, but I know you've had a long, extensive athletic background, and I'm sure you've got some big plans at least to kind of stick around. You've got mid states. Let's see. So, your next appearance, are you appearing down in New Breed in Eldon on the 16th?
Yeah, I'll be actually next weekend. I'm in Springfield, Missouri at the 9th on the 9th at Relics for Mid States. Then on the 16th, I'll be at New Breed in Eldon.
Okay.
I should be facing Derek Teeter for the New Breed Heavyweight Championship.
Oh, interesting.
Well, that'd be nothing neither.
Yes, sir.
Goodness
I am
gracious.
the current holder of the tag team championship at New
Oh
Breed.
yeah. Are you the only person on the team?
Absolutely, yes, sir.
Hey, we got something in common.
Yeah, I was just going to point it out.
I've done that before. I'm the tag team champions.
Yeah, that's where I'm sitting at right now.
Yeah, Joe did it because he's talented. You did it because they needed to put both belts on you so you can actually put one around your waist. So,
The fat man making fat jokes again. Anyway.
oh my kind.
All right. But that's all right now. It's but that's cool. And then, like I said, you'll be back. Like I said, just keep watching on SICW All Star Wrestling as well. Is then you'll be on appearing in matches as well and then hopefully and I think SICW comes back on April 6th, I think.
Yeah.
Okay. Yeah. So once again, another booking conflict that I can't make the show. So it looks like SICW will be probably getting a test. We'll get a Rick Ruby appearance at the SICW Fan Fest.
So, I won't disclose anything that's going on, but I won't be back at SICW till probably May.
Oh, okay.
Because you gotta watch the show. Just watch the show and you'll find out what's going on.
Spoiler alert.
Yeah, well, I mean, we'll just see. Yeah, like I said, I mean, it's always card subject to change. That's the 4 words to live by in this business. Card subject to change. So, awesome. So, where can people find you on social media, and as far as your appearances and everything else, how can they get in touch with you?
Basically, I'm on Facebook and what's the other one? Facebook and Instagram. Mainly on my Facebook, Joe Helms.
Hold on, what did she call it?
Instagram.
No, I call it Instaho.
Oh, she calls it Instaho.
Well, I mean, it was I guess a hoe that got Ruby suspended. So
Yeah, but it's,
oh wow.
Oh, I never met, but it's a cyber hoe. It's a bot hoe. Anyway, cool.
Oh, here we go.
Yeah, here we go again. But no, man, Joey, thank you very much for joining us. Sorry about the technical issues we've had. Around the beginning, but
it was something in my browser that I never even messed with that was off. So it was learning experience.
Thank God I was here.
Thankful for her, or this wouldn't happen.
yeah. Thank you, Lady Gun. Appreciate you for
I'm over here in the corner working on my small business stuff.
That's right. But Yeah, you got to make that merch in order to make some
Yep.
to make some moolah. So yeah, absolutely. So all right, buddy. Well, we'll see you down the road. If anything else, if I don't see you, definitely we'll see you at the Fan Fest. So
Yes, sir.
yeah, so definitely we will be down there at our booth, and of course, so you'll be on the card that night as well. So but now thanks again for doing this for us. Hopefully, you had
No
some
problem.
yeah. Hopefully, it was worth the headache getting on here. So
Yes, sir. Yes, sir.
all right, man. Take it easy, and we'll talk to you soon, man.
All right, guys. Thank you.
All right, thanks. All right, man. That was Big Joe Helms with that. So should we do this? So for those,
I'm hitting refresh. Give me a second.
Participated in the background.
They haven't put the stuff on there yet. Anyway.
yeah. What's that?
I'm on 411 for the report.
Oh no, not yet. So well, I'll just say that AEW Revolution has officially concluded with its matches, but it is still airing right now. So cover your ears if you don't want to hear this. In 3, 2, 1. Sting retires as a champion. That's all I'm going to say. So,
You know, I'm not saying that that's wrong at all, by no means. I think a lot of it, I think the last time we saw something like that was Flair almost, where somebody going out on their back. Ish. I think that's getting so passe now on somebody, retiring on their back, as they call it,
yeah. So, right now, Sting's got the stick addressing the audience, and he's doing his, I think, his farewell speech in the ring now. So, but, this is going to be, and the funny thing about this here the other day, I came across an old WrestleMania I was watching, and it was actually an old WWE Hall of Fame speech, which was the 2016 class, and it got right to where Sting was doing the speech and how he announced his retirement in 2016. That's why we always say never in this business. So, oh my goodness. So, but yeah, like I said, we've got a couple more things to address here, and then we'll see how the show goes for that. So, talk about this here from SmackDown last Friday. The Rock appeared along with Roman Reigns. Actually, Rock came down last in the whole intro, but like the first half hour of the show plus was all Bloodline and The Rock, or I should say Bloodline entirely now. But apparently The Rock did not accept Cody's offer to wrestle him one-on-one. They have come back with a counteroffer. So now they've come back for night one. They've put a challenge to Seth Rollins and Cody Rhodes to face The Rock and Roman Reigns in a tag match. So,
which we thought was going that route anyway before they even announced it, or was looking to that route. I mean,
right
now, I know how Rock, or did the old school bad Rock and everything, to where, well, you already see fans are getting blurred out, but they're already having the Die Rocky Die chants and everything, and then the signs and everything in the crowd. But I have a funny feeling there's going to be a swerve, because they're really pointing out, a lot of people are pointing out things like Rock not doing that, but doing that. And when he's doing that, like Paul Heyman looking at him like, what the F are you doing? Kind of thing.
Right.
So I wonder if they're trying to get that to go viral and tease it more or something,
Yeah.
But I like how Rock, though, told Cody, your story.
Yeah. Right, I got you. So, apparently what the stipulations are in the match, if Seth and Cody win the tag match in night 1 and night 2, Roman Reigns goes out to the ring by himself. Nobody, not even Paul Heyman, no Solo, no Jimmy, no Rock, nobody. He goes out to the ring by himself, and no one is allowed at the ringside. But if The Rock and Roman Reigns win, then apparently there's no definition on it, but it's going to be bloodline rules for the match. So which means that pretty much bloodline can interfere in the match at any point given time. So basically it's anything goes. So we don't know how things are going to turn out.
Yeah, I already see now Rock turning on Roman on that. Giving him the rock bottom. 1, 2, 3. Cody and them win. Then Roman drops the title on the next night.
Oh my goodness. Well, we've heard a prediction here. So we always like the sidearm book. So we like to see how things are going to play out. So GQ thinks that Rock is going to turn on Roman in the tag match in night 1. So we're just assuming that the match is going to happen, but I think it is going to happen because we can't go counter offer. You know, we're going to get tired of that. So, I'm pretty sure this is going to be it. And then, so I think it's going to be now. Also, as we're doing this here, I was kind of looking at the airing, and looks like AEW pulled what WCW did on Halloween Havoc in '98, right in the middle of Sting's farewell speech, I think. Oh, anyway, so basically, Sting was in the middle of still talking, and the crowd was chanting, but I think AEW only had 4 hours of airtime, so it was getting ready to wrap up, so they had to go off the air.
Oh, damn. This is pay-per-view, though.
Z,
I mean,
Z, if you're watching Z, let me know if that exactly was happening, because I looked up there and it seemed like Sting was still in the middle of speaking and they went off the air. So if you're watching Z, let me know. So you can either put it in the chat here, or you can send me an Instagram. Hey, I still have an Instagram account, the actual one. That's mine. Anyway, but no, and also Bailey betrayed again. But Bailey had teamed with Dakota Kai to face the Kabuki Warriors for the women's tag straps, and well, Dakota Kai decides to pull off the apron when Bailey needed a tag, and Bailey had to fight everybody at ringside. So Bailey's on her own. But come back to the commercial. They showed a vignette promo of the women going down the hall, and they run into Nick Aldis, and standing beside Nick Aldis, Jade Cargill. So that.
Oh yeah, I saw that one.
So there's some interesting talk there. Now here's the funny part, though. Everybody he talked back. So it just went off right in the middle of a speech. That you see what I mean? You see what I mean, though?
Hopefully, right away, they're going to put the whole thing on YouTube, like the speech or whatever. Hopefully.
I'm hoping. Just at least give the speech on AEW's official channel. Give the speech for free on YouTube. You know, so the man can have his proper say. So, but it's a good thing that the cameraman didn't go out and go to stay. Like, sorry, we're done. Get off the mic. Hopefully, that's not what happened. But this is what you do when you don't run a tight ship.
Looking at the comments in the post for 411 and everything, they cut the pay-per-view while he was speaking, and somebody said, as is full WCW tradition.
I told you, though. That was Halloween Havoc 98 all over again. You know, because they didn't, the matches went too long, or there were segments that went too long, and it killed you at the end. So Honestly, I know it was a 4-hour show, but they still put a lot of matches on the pay-per-view. So there's really, I'm sorry, something should have been like a 0 hour or something like that. Honestly, you could have had that 8-man scramble at 0 hour. I'm sorry. I could have told you who was going to win that one. And I didn't watch the AEW for like, 2 months? I knew Wardlow was going to come out of that on top. I knew that. I mean, but yeah, way too many people at ringside too. I mean, that was like a show. That was like a zoo. That should that should have just been like a 0 hour for free, But no, the women's match was good. The Kingston and Brent Danielson match was good, but no, it's sometimes things go overboard, and you couldn't give the man his last props. Who spent over 37 years in the business as a wrestler, and you could not make time to make sure he said his final goodbye before he got cut off. Lord. Anyway. Way to go, Tony. Way to go. So.
Well, it's because of that Coke and everything out there. Coca-Cola. I mean, I'm not saying he's on drugs.
Yeah. But I'm going to get off my soapbox here, and I know we've had quite a here tonight. So it's been about, like I said, it's been about a little over 2 hours here since we went on the air, and like I said, we miss E, and he's watched on. He's kind of made his comments. At least he's keeping in the known here tonight, and we got the official Z figure in the Lego set with the PS5 controller.
Yep.
Look at
See,
that.
we got the good figures there.
I'm insulted. I'm seriously insulted. For a man who carries a gimmick that's been dead for like over 25 years, you said my gimmick is bad. You just said that.
I said no.
You say you put the good. You took mine. You took my current gimmick off. And you put this old dead one for over 25 years up there. That's what you did. I called you out on it. I'm sorry, 26 years. Yeah, look at that. Laughing party of one. Here we go. Here we go. Here comes Vince coming here to get. He's gonna. You keep it up. He's gonna name a toy after you, bro. So. Guess what? Oh shoot! All right, man. Well, I'll tell you what. We are actually going to be heading on out of here. We will be back next week. Hopefully, I will be having a page, one way or the other, on Facebook. I'm hoping, praying, promising, but we will be back with episode number 138 next week. Justin, main event from ACW, is scheduled to be on here with us, and we're gonna talk a little some ACW business and his. Like I said, it was Justin main event who actually discovered us on Falls Count Everywhere, me and GQ, who asked about how to get involved in the business. We actually gave him advice on air during one of our shows, and now look at him now. So he's a blooming star in American Championship Wrestling, thanks to the Falls Count Everywhere podcast. At least,
Don't blame us for that. And you're gonna have fans.
Don't blame us for that. He's doing
fine.
fine.
Come on, nobody likes him right now. Come on. Don't.
No,
I mean, come on.
Some people don't like me at times too, but at least
like Facebook and Meta. I mean,
fair enough. And hopefully back here next week we'll have the Jump City about the Miz. So we're gonna have the Power Trio back here, discussing with Justin main event. We're gonna talk about what happened on SmackDown in Dallas, because it's Cody and Seth that's gonna meet up with Rock and Roman Reigns. Kind of discuss this whole tag match. So hopefully we're going to have some good news about that. So we're going to have a good time next week with episode number 138. And looking forward to that. So for GQ, I am Rough Cut Rick Ruby. We thank you very much for joining us here this evening, guys. Make sure you follow us Facebook, YouTube, Twitter, Twitch, and X. Okay, X at FCE Podcast. Everywhere else is at Falls Count Everywhere. We thank you very much, guys, for joining here with us, and we will see you here next week, same time, same channel, and we won't be canceled. But just keep the word out, guys, and we'll be back here next week. So until then, see you next Sunday, and have a great week, everybody. Thanks again for tuning into tonight's episode of the Falls Counts Everywhere podcast. Don't forget our friends at the following: Keeping It Cool with Tyler Cooley, the Squared Ring podcast, and We Talk Wrestling. The Falls Counts Everywhere podcast is an LTX Enterprises production.